Hey everybody. So, to be honest, I am making this video because it's been a little bit of time since I've had an update. I don't really know what to say, I guess. Some of you know that Robin Williams recently passed away. And granted, you know, none of us were close personal friends of his or, you know, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, we didn't know him personally, but we didn't have to because our childhood knew him. Even some of us as adults, you know, knew him growing up in our own way, or even if it was our inner child, you know, our inner child, or we lost a really amazing person. And primarily the reason that I wanted to bring it up is because they believe, and I say this believe because it's not confirmed yet, but they think that he committed suicide as he was suffering from severe depression. This is something that I don't think a lot of people realize is a lot more common than it should be. Depression is not, you know, this thing that these people can stand up and say, well, they can fix it, they can be happy. That's not how it works. That's not how depression is. It upsets me, actually, that people are willing to sit there and say, well, they'll get over it, or, you know, they can handle it, or they just have to believe they can be happy. Sometimes it's not just about believing you can be happy. Sometimes you just can't be happy. Sometimes you want to feel happy and it just isn't there. There are things in this world that people do not understand, and they aren't willing to understand it because it scares them. And while the rest of you are watching Dead Poets Society, I will be watching What Dreams May Come. If any movie hit me hard, it was that one. Because in life, there are people that you would be willing to go to hell for. And knowing that there was this man who did nothing but make other people smile his entire life because he was hurting so bad, it's an amazing thing. And it's inspiring to those of us that do suffer from depression. Those of you that don't know, I'm bipolar. I have severe bipolar disorder and depression and anxiety. I'm on the high end of mania, among other things, but it's also on the aggressive side where I am angry a lot. A lot of people don't know this about me. But it is what it is. You know, you have to live with it, you have to deal with it. I think that a lot of you out there that are struggling and just don't want to say anything or don't want to tell anybody, you really should ask for help. And it sucks and you don't want to, or you're scared, or you don't know how people are going to react, or people are going to sit there and look at you and be like, well, you're just looking for attention. And you're really not, because you hurt. And sometimes you can't even hurt. Like, some days it's so bad that you sit there and you look at the ceiling when you wake up in the morning and you're just like, what the fuck am I doing? Because you honestly believe that nothing is worth it. That you get up, you go to work or school, and you just do it, and there's no reason to do it. And you tell yourself, well, I'm doing it because I want to succeed in life. I'm doing it because I have a family. I'm doing it for XYZ reason. But how you really feel is that you don't know why you're doing it. It doesn't make you happy. If anything, it makes you want to walk in front of a car sometimes. I think that if he really did commit suicide, and I say allegedly because, again, it's not confirmed, But if he really did commit suicide, then I think he finally was just tired of running. I think that eventually people who spend their entire lives trying to make other people happy and laugh and feel better do it because they're hurting the most. And that's the thing, is I'm not upset and I'm not crying because, you know, granted, this celebrity that we didn't know personally passed away. I'm upset and I'm crying because it is a testament that if people like that, somebody who has this beautiful daughter, this family, you know, they were a really popular comedian and actor and all this bunch of stuff, and they couldn't make it. There was this monster that they came up against, and it shadowed them and it followed them everywhere, and it ate away at them until it finally chewed its way out of them and let them bleed to death, and it won. And instead of fighting back, trying to get help, or trying to realize that sometimes suicide's just not the way out, it's not worth it, you just let it win, and you let it eat you, and you let it devour you, and then there's nothing left. Those of you that think that suicide or depression or anxiety is, or even bipolar disorder is this thing that is just so easily defeatable, you're wrong, and you should do research, because there are a lot of people that will look at people who suffer, you know, from mental issues, and they're like, oh, well, you can just get over it, you'll be fine. You're ignorant, and you should really look into those particular problems more closely. If you have a sibling, a parent, a child, a cousin, a friend, someone that you know that's suffering from anxiety or depression or bipolar disorder or has contemplated suicide, help them. Don't, the cat, don't just, you know, pretend like it's gonna go away or that they can make themselves better, because they can't. Sometimes we need help. Sometimes there are people that don't have voices that want to say something and want to ask for help and want to try, you know, to make their lives better and to be happier, and they can't do it themselves. They can't just ask somebody to say, hey, you know, by the way, kind of want to walk off a cliff some days. Just, you know, just saying, could you, hey. Because a lot of the time those people either seem to be wanting attention, or, you know, they're pathetic, or what the fuck ever, you stupid assholes that are so ignorant that you just, you do not understand the gravity of what it is to not feel anything and to want to feel, and to wonder what it's like to actually feel happy when people are like, hey, da-da-da, I had this great day, it's super amazing, things could not be better for me, I'm amazingly happy. So, those of you that think that it's this pathetic thing that can be helped and is automatically fixable, you suck. And you're uneducated. Those of you that do have friends or family members suffering from depression and other, you know, disorders, please do your research. Please try to be there for these people, because sometimes it's so much easier to believe that it's simple to give up and just be done and not have to worry about it than it is to sit there and fight back and try to make your life happy and try to make it work and try to make everything seem like it's worth it. And sometimes you just can't do that alone. Sometimes you have to ask for help. I suffer from my own disorders. But I want everybody out there to know that I would rather put my own issues to the side, being what they are, and help and create a support system for my friends and for my family and for others out there that can't do it themselves. I want them to know that they're not alone. I want them to know that I couldn't do it by myself, and I had to beg for help. I had to stand up and say, you know what, I can't do this to myself anymore, and I had to seek help. And it's scary, and you think that people are going to judge you, but it is far healthier for you to believe that someone actually understands than to continue hurting and wanting to hurt yourself or even others in some cases. Just don't give in to it. Don't let it win. You have people who love you. You have people that do want to take care of you and do want to understand, and they just don't know how. And you have to help them understand. You have to help them get why you feel the way that you do. You have to tell them that you can't do it alone. And God damn it, if you think that you don't have anybody, you're wrong. You have lots of people that love you, and you have lots of people that want nothing more than to see you succeed in this life, because it's really not that bad. And there are beautiful things out there. So, do it because you should experience those beautiful things. Whatever that may be. Whether, you know, it's the ocean at sunset when the sun's glancing off of the water and you can see the reflection of the orange and the blue. Or if it's a lake that you can go fish again. You guys should experience that. A field of flowers in the moonlight. Roses. Cute fluffy things that like to purr. You should experience that beautiful piece of life, because sometimes the rest of us give up and we don't want to do it anymore. But remember why it's worth it. Remember that people love you, and that sometimes cute animals love you. And even though it may not seem worth it, it is. So love yourself above anything else. And if you need help, I am here. And there are others here that understand. You're not alone. And we love you. And the world loves you. Even though it can seem really dark and hurtful sometimes. That's all I had to say. And I hope that those of you that don't feel like you can make it, ask for help. And just fucking hug somebody. Hug somebody and tell them, I'm not okay. Because sometimes it's a simple action that lets you start something bigger, and that way you can feel better. Because it's nice to feel better. It really is. So I love you guys, and I think you are all wonderful, amazing people, even though sometimes you may not think so yourself. And treasure what you have. Go for a walk. Notice the birds, and notice the sunrise and the sunset and the moon and everything beautiful. Just give it a chance. You may not want to, but try. So, I wish you all the best of days. And again, my name is Autumn, and I suffer from bipolar disorder. And it sucks. But I'm here. And I'm gonna make it work. and I'm gonna survive.